Hey folks, this is Kalani. I want to talk to you about another Crusader build. This time we'll be looking at Fist of Akarat. Now I like to call it Fist of Akarat because we're going to be using Fist of the Heavens as our major spender, and we're also running with Akarat's Champion and Rally. Both of those synergize really well with the rest of the kit to make this ridiculous at clearing out monsters. So, first things first, I will be using Provoke and Charged Up. If you haven't used this before, I recommend looking into it. Provoke with Charged Up is probably one of the best damage cooldowns we've got, simply because if you synergize it well, you can get an absurd amount of damage out of this one ability. It's crazy. So, we'll talk through things one by one, as per usual. I'm running Justice to keep things ranged. You can run either Hammer of Pursuit for higher damage and the guaranteed hit, or Burst for the lightning damage and crowd control. I like Hammer of Pursuit, it helps with things running away. Now, Akarat's Champion is pretty much... if you want to get the most out of this build, you have to run Akarat's Champion with Rally. As a quick note, I'm not sure whether this is a bug or intended, but when you spend the first life of Akarat's Champion, so when you use it the first time you take fatal damage, you'll be healed to full health. Akarat's Champion turns from a buff to a debuff. Now I don't know if that's the interaction causing this, but if you die in Akarat's Champion, for the remaining duration, you won't actually get the effects of the Rally rune. Which seems really odd, but I thought I'd just mention that. Now, things are going to be a little different from here, so the first thing I want to talk about is Phalanx, simply because Phalanx with Bowmen is probably the best single target DPS ability that we have. It summons 4 bowmen, I believe, which all hit for 160% weapon damage. It seems every half second. It could be every second, I could be feeling very quick, or something to that ilk, but I do know they also scale with increased attack speed, and they will benefit from Tasker and Theo gloves, so you may want to pick up a set of those if you like Phalanx. I'll definitely be hunting them myself. Its damage is insane. It allows you to pop it and kind of run away from the monsters anyway, because they're going to start shooting things in their range. So you can use it to either some nice single target DPS, you can use it to finish off things, any stragglers, that kind of thing. But what's interesting is that monsters will target them, and they can't be killed. So it also makes for a nice meat shield, which is really cool. Provoke and Charged Up is the heart of this build. This is where probably more than half of your damage is coming from. It's that crazy. Now, it synergizes perfectly with Phalanx, because Phalanx is 4 bowmen doing a single attack each, meaning that you're guaranteed to get another 4 procs. Basically every half second to second, which is cool because it lasts for 4 seconds. That's plenty of procs. Fist of the Heavens has a potential of 4 damage sources. You've got the initial impact, you've got the... well, we're using Fissure, so you've got the Fissure which is ticking over, you've also got the bolts which are arcing outwards, and with Fissure, 2 fissures close to each other have an arc going between them. So, more damage, another source of damage. And as many fissures as you can get out is as many arcs. Note that they will only arc to the nearest one, so it doesn't get too crazy. And then we're running Heaven's Fury with Blessed Ground. Heaven's Fury with Blessed Ground, rather, is probably the single best ability you can use with Provoke, because of how it deals damage. So it works as a dot, meaning that Heaven's Fury and the dot on the floor both tick over very, very fast in small increments. Because they do damage that way, Provoke has so many effects from the Charged Up rune. It's ridiculous. It really is. It just... your damage increases by an absurd amount. So moving from there, we've got Heavenly Strength. It's Heavenly Strength, you should know this by now. It gives us higher damage, pretty much baseline for many Crusader builds, unless you're relying on a specific one-handed legendary. I love my Wrathful. Wrathful is probably the best survivability ability. I'm going to come back to that. And Righteousness helps with some Wrath generation if you need it. If you find that your Wrath gen is fine, for example if you've got Reaper's Wraps, that's cool, but if you... I mean, take it if you feel you need it. If you feel you're okay with Wrath gen, you can move it into something else. Which is where we come to a bit of an issue, because the Lord Commander is actually potentially worth using just for the damage on Phalanx, which is disgusting in my opinion. We're only using 1/3 of the passive, and it's still a better DPS upgrade than pretty much anything else you can use. Holy Cause might be worth using, but remember, you're not going to get a great deal from the holy damage. I suppose you would if you're running a holy weapon. If you're running a holy weapon, maybe Holy Cause. If you're not, Finery is a small DPS increase, maybe to replace Righteousness if you're okay with Wrath, but we really don't care about the rest. We really do not care about the rest. Vigilance, another good one for some survivability and healing. Obviously, Fervor is okay, but with like the amount of ranged abilities that we've got, chances of something dying within 15 yards is pretty slim, and 3 seconds, you're not really going to get a great deal out of that. So, I mean, I'll be honest, most of the passives are incredibly lackluster, so I'd run with these for the best time. Now, this build seems to excel really well with clearing monsters. If it's elites, if it's normal mobs, pretty much anything. If it's bosses, you pop your Akarat's champion and you can spam these abilities because of how many times you deal damage. Your cooldowns just tick over and over and over and over to the point where you summon a Phalanx and it actually destroys your original Phalanx because you can't have more than one set of bowmen up. So that's a thing. Let's go have a poke around in some of these bounties, some of these rifts maybe. Let's have a look what this build can do.
Patience. This will be a good battle. Not yet. Make your peace, quickly. I enjoy that. My wrath is low.
So, as a few last-minute notes, I'd recommend stacking as much lightning elemental damage as you can. So, for example, Schaefer's Hammer seems to be one of the best weapons to go with. I was very lucky to pick one of these up very early, actually. And then pretty much anything which can roll elemental damage and try get it lightning. So, Amulet, maybe an Andy's Visage on your bracers. Bear in mind that holy damage is arguably the best next elemental damage, although obviously it's not going to help you anywhere near as much as lightning. For stats, I'd simply go for strength, crit chance, crit damage, and cooldown reduction. Even though increased attack speed does help Phalanx, I believe getting them off cooldown quicker is going to be overall higher damage, especially if you can get Tasker and Theos anyway, so that may be something to consider. That's pretty much all I have to show you. If you have any questions or queries about the build or anything to do with Crusader, please leave them in the comment section below, and I'll try get back to you as soon as possible and help you out. Remember to leave a like just below the video, and if you want to see more, feel free to subscribe. But apart from that, thanks for watching folks, good luck and have fun, and as always, I will see you next time.